inside the UN plan to control speech online, and they're already doing it. Anybody who's been speaking up knows that. A powerful United Nations agency has unveiled a plan to regulate social media and online communication while cracking down on what it describes as false information and conspiracy theories, sparking alarm among free speech advocates and top U.S. lawmakers. In its 59-page report released this month, the UN Educational, Cultural, and Scientific Organization, Unesco, outlined a series of, quote, concrete measures which must be implemented by all stakeholders, governments, regulatory authorities, civil society, and the platforms themselves. The approach includes the imposition of global policies through institutions such as governments and businesses designed to stop the spread of various forms of speech while promoting objectives of cultural diversity and gender equality. In particular, the UN agency aims to create an internet of trust by targeting what it calls misinformation, disinformation, hate speech, and conspiracy theories. So let's talk about that, because really what they deem, with all of those people in America that got on board with them, again, the heads of healthcare, the heads of science, the heads of nursing and medicine, the heads of the education system, all got on board with this global plan. Think of that mindset for a minute, because that's what I think about. The mindset that would say to all these Americans that got on board with this, can you see how there's no self-awareness there? There's no self-reflection. It's like we don't care about your American Constitution because we're going to do this and we're going to tell you it's for health. And what they deem as hate speech is anything they don't like. So it doesn't, this lie that they're taking down misinformation. No, they're and this idea of hate speech. Look, they're taking down speech that doesn't go along with their narrative. It's shocking to me how all the higher educated got on board with this, and they don't even have enough self-awareness in themselves to see how they're just dictators. Like, who wants to just like disregard a country's constitution? Think of the mindset there. So, examples of expression flagged to be stopped or restricted include concerns about elections, public health measures, and advocacy that constitute incitement to discrimination. No, you guys have all discriminated. Like everything you accuse people that are just speaking up of, you people are guilty of. Look, if you have nothing to hide, if you're not trying to be dictators over people, then you shouldn't try to overthrow our Constitution with your plans. That's what you're doing with the help of nursing, medical, education unions and associations in this country. That's what you people, and I'm particularly speaking to those people here in America that are mostly from the higher educated camp. Did you not think that it's maybe not such that even though maybe you don't care about the United States Constitution, that there's millions of Americans in this country that do care about it? Did you not stop to think about those things? Or is everything just, we're going to dictate over everybody because we're going to decide what's best? It's a very dictator-like attitude, and dictators don't tend to lead to positive outcomes. Healthcare maybe would want to maybe look into that. Critics are warning that allegations of disinformation and conspiracy theories have increasingly been used by powerful forces in government and big tech to silence true information and even core political speech. Among other concerns, the committee found this pseudoscience has been weaponized but by what lawmakers refer to as censorship industrial complex. Yep. The goal? Silence constitutionally protected political speech, mostly by conservatives. The pseudoscience of disinformation, and that's what it is now. I've had videos taken down where I'm showing the actual scientific paper from PubMed themselves. That's why I lost my account this morning. is I know that I knew that video they would take my channel down for it. You are not showing that you people in medicine, nursing, or at the top, that you're not even respecting evidence, your own evidence that's been done. So when people like me or others get up and show the evidence behind all this stuff, and that it ultimately goes all to this, let's save the earth and population control, and you don't see how you people are the problem, that's disturbing to me. It's so disturbing. That's why I keep bringing up this higher educated. Where are the higher educated speaking up against this, huh? No, they'll just believe that somehow becoming a dictator, let's just ignore history that shows that dictatorships don't work. They lead to death. They lead to communism. And maybe healthcare should realize that the number one cause of death that has the highest death rate, disease, the number one disease of death that's been all through is communism. It's responsible for the most deaths, not heart attacks, no, communism. Yet our healthcare and education system, the people at the top, all have aligned with this. I don't understand. It pisses me off. And they're the ones that are full of pseudoscience, trying to find all these ways around, well, we have to monitor hate speech, our stakeholders and shareholders. Who are you? Nobody elected any of you people to anything, yet you are responsible for Americans like me who have a right to speak up, and you have been controlling big tech. What does that make you? Do you people ever just look in the mirror at who you've become? Indeed, many of the policies called for by UNESCO have already been implemented by the US-based digital platforms, often at the behest of the Biden administration, the latest congressional report makes clear. On Capitol Hill, lawmakers nevertheless expressed alarm about the new UNESCO plan. Quote, I have repeatedly and publicly criticized the Biden administration's misguided decisions to rejoin UNESCO, putting U.S. taxpayers on the hook for hundreds of millions of dollars, House Foreign Affairs Committee Chairman Michael McCall told Epoch Times. You know what? This doesn't even matter. It's not just Biden, okay? Because this was going on under Trump, and not that Trump was doing it, but it's these private institutions that aligned, okay, with this UN plan, these 17 unsustainable development goals. These are the people that need to be looked at and called out. I'm sure that's also why my other video was taken down, because they operate under a private organization, yet they're the ones that are implementing it. Like the federal government really can't go after the private institutions, but they just, you could say they pressure them. Well, these private institutions, I still to this day don't understand why you too would go along with things that are against our Constitution. There's no courage in this country. Already, the U.S. government has twice exited UNESCO under the Reagan and Trump administrations due to concerns about what the administrations described as extremism, hostility to American values, and other problems. Yeah, that's what makes me really mad is I'm an American. I don't care what nursing association, medical association, hospital association, education association has to say. Just because they were so misguided and have no self-awareness at who they've become, and aligned with stuff that disregards and disrespects our Constitution and millions of Americans, doesn't mean you have a right with your shareholders and stakeholders to dictate what the rest of us should do. Go check yourself.